Hi there guys, so Frank Warren seems to be going ahead with the fight Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce, and he has also explained it will be his biggest risk. This is what Frank Warren had to say about that much anticipated matchup that could take place in either April or May this year. I am hoping we might be in a position to announce that soon. We are in peak discussions at the moment and I think there is a will to get it done. It will be a risk without doubt, probably the biggest risk. For Daniel is quite a jump up to be fighting at the stage of his career in such a significant fight, so it's a big decision to make. I am not worried about Daniel's stamina. My only concern, if I have one, is Joe's vast experience, how long he has been in boxing, and he's undefeated, a winning fighter. At this stage of his career, Daniel is the best heavyweight I have been involved with. He is an exceptional talent. What impresses me is his total dedication. He just wants to be in a world champion fight. He just wants to be a world heavyweight champion. He doesn't have any distractions. I think he only just got a mobile phone the other day. Joe is 34, had a significant and highly decorated amateur career, has vast experience and has done brilliantly as a pro. So it's a big step up for Daniel. It's a fight he wants. I think the fight will happen sooner rather than later. So there we have it. That is what Frank Warren has had to say about that much anticipated matchup. Now, this would be a fight that is very similar to Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte. Both at different stages though, and I don't think there will be the beef there. I don't think that Daniel Dubois is really a trash talker. He's the kind of guy who gets in the ring and does his business in there, lets his fists do the talking, no trash talk outside of the boxing ring. And you have to respect that. You also have to respect his dedication to the game. And personally, I think it's the right time for Daniel Dubois. He needs to step up. I mean, his last opponent didn't represent any challenges for Dubois, so he needs to start stepping up, and Joe Joyce is a step up, and it will be a very tough fight. Joe Joyce is very durable, so it will test how Daniel Dubois' power matches up at that level. So as I said, it will be very similar to the Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte fight. Although the Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte fight was a war. They just went at each other and they went for the knockout. Whereas this fight will be a little bit more technical, I think. Both will exchange jabs and try and implement their game plan. I think what Joe Joyce will try and do is tire Daniel Dubois out. See if he can go down the stretch, because obviously going 12 rounds is not something that Daniel Dubois is accustomed to. So Joe Joyce will attempt to take him down the stretch because Joe Joyce knows he can go the full 12 rounds and he won't gas. So he will want to take Daniel Dubois into deep water, because obviously Daniel Dubois will have to pace himself as well. He cannot just go gun-ho from round one. He will not be able to have enough in the tank in order to do that. So provided this is promoted correctly, this could be a very big fight at the O2 and it could sell out. As I said, it must be promoted correctly because this is an incredible fight. You won't want to miss it if this fight is made April or May. Now obviously that would be similar sort of time to maybe Dillian Whyte, maybe Anthony Joshua fighting, so they would have to be careful not to clash with that, and they wouldn't want it 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after. So they might have to be mindful of that because there will be some big heavyweight matchups coming up, and this one should not fly under the radar, because if this fight is made, if Frank Warren does take the risk and put his both fighters in there, because let's remember, Daniel Dubois is one of Frank Warren's prize fighters, so he wants to keep him on a winning course, and as he says, this would be a risk. I agree with him, but I think it's the right fight at the right time, and it's a great fight for the fans. I think we want to see this fight. Now, as how the fight would go, I don't really know, and I think that is what's so great about it. It's a 50-50 fight. I mean, you have the experience, you have the stamina, and the relentlessness of Joe Joyce, and he can take a punch as well. Maybe a little bit weak to the body. We saw that in his fight with Bryant Jennings, so maybe that is something that Daniel Dubois could exploit. And obviously Daniel Dubois is untested. We haven't really seen him caught on the chin properly by a big heavyweight like Joe Joyce, who punches and is relentless as well and doesn't waste any punches. So this would be an incredible matchup. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Is this a fight you want to see? It's a genuine 50-50 fight in the heavyweight division between two undefeated heavyweights who look to get to world level. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.